In this video, you'll get to learn how to carve a pumpkin like a pro while watching JT carve out the coolest pumpkin. Stay tuned as you watch this pumpkin go from this to this and learn the secrets of the pros while watching.
Alright, I've got the pumpkin cleaned out. I'm going to carve the outside the Q logo on this pumpkin. I cleaned off the surface really good with disinfectant. I think it kind of helps it from getting all funky later on. And get a permanent marker to sketch out what you want to carve. And if you make a mistake in your sketch, take some alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, and just erase your mistakes and dry it off and redo it. I think I could probably draw this a little bit bigger so to fit more of the space of the pumpkin. But maybe I'll just keep it the way it is. Maybe put some designs around it. Some Halloween type of flair on it. Alright, so the parts I'm going to cut out is going to be all this that I'm just shading in. No, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this just to show you what I'm going to carve out. I'm not going to carve it out all the way through, because if I did that, then this little center piece right here won't have anything to hold on to. Yeah, so that's the start of the pumpkin. I've got the drawing drawn out. I know what I'm going to carve out, and I'm just going to carve the skin off. Just maybe the top layer of skin. I've got the inside of the pumpkin carved out, scraped out pretty good to where the rind of the pumpkin will be thin. That way when you light it up from the inside, it'll let the light shine through. All right, I've got 2 candles in there. 2 candles, something like that. So I got 2 of them in there just to make it brighter. Of course, the more candles you have, the more it'll light up. Like when I had my flashlight in there, it was like lighting up really good. And now I'm going to take the knife and just scrape around the edges of it to smooth it out. And this is going to take some time too. And since I want to make this look 3D, like bevel the edges of it to where it looks like the center of it, where it looks like it's curved, and the center of it's going to look like it has more light hitting on it from the outside to give it that 3D type of look. I'm going to take my knife and just scrape around the edge of it at an angle, and in the center I'm going to try to scrape in a little deeper than the edges. And this is going to take some time. Next time we chipped away a little piece right there up at the very top. But hey, this is a pumpkin. It's gonna have to be what it is. Not bad, not bad. I say that looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. Now, I think I will add some other things to it, just so it doesn't feel alone. How about a tombstone? Yeah, I added a tombstone here in the background. I'm just going to do this freehand. R.I.P. Yeah, rest in peace. Put that right there. I was going to do some words like a date or something, but that's going to be a little too complicated. I'm just going to lightly scrape off top layer of skin right there, just so that more of the light can shine through. Carving out words and letters in a pumpkin is pretty difficult. Like I said, let's add some texturing to this. Maybe let's make this one look like it's being lit up from behind. So I'm going to, just around the edges of it, I'm going to just scrape deeper, just around the edges to make it look like it's backlit. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. I need something on the other side. Okay, need a moon. Halloween always has a moon. A full moon. You know, yeah, Halloween doesn't always have a full moon, but that's always like a stereotype of Halloween. It's got to have a full moon somewhere. With some clouds going across it. So how about, yeah, right here. We'll add a full moon and some clouds. Well, we've got to have a haunted house also. just kind of randomly just etching out the cloud. You're just using the knife just to dig out and chip away at what I just carved for the moon with a cloud in front of it. Now I'm just gonna scrape off some of the surface of the cloud. Of course, when you see clouds like passing across the moon, the cloud's going to be the part of the cloud that's not in front of the moon. It's going to be lit up from behind. It's going to be backlit by the moon. So I'm going to make sure I scrape really good around the edge of that cloud, the part that's not in front of the moon. Just to give it that effect. Yeah, it doesn't really look too much like a moon, but the moon is always bright. So I'm going to scrape away at the surface of the moon to try to thin down the skin of the pumpkin. Of course, the moon has its craters and its dark spots on the surface, the maras, or whatever they're called, the seas. It was a dark and stormy night. Okay, that's about as good as I could do with the moon. I guess took a little bit more time and scraped through it into the skin. That would make it come out a little bit more Make it look like it's a very bright full moon. Just like Bob Ross. Put a happy little cloud right there, going across the happy little moon. Oh yeah, that looks good. Let's scrape off a little bit more from the surface of the cloud. Because maybe this cloud might not be fully opaque. All right. Now I'm just going to trace an outline of landscape, maybe some mountains or hills in the background of this. Just give it some depth. Yeah. That's decent. I'm just scraping a little bit off of the grave just to give it a little texture. Make it look like it's dirt piled up on top of the grave. Maybe a fresh grave right there. Alright, it needs something on this side now. How about a tree? Need some bats. Alright. We'll have a bat flying over here. scrape around it just to so it'll come through a little bit and make it look like it's backlit by the moon. Yeah, good enough. Maybe that's visible in the screen. I'll scrape a little bit more. Kind of looks more like a bird rather than a bat. I didn't get the wings quite wide enough, big enough, whatever it is. But it is something. It's something flying across the sky. Alright. I'll add a tree. The tree's going to be partially blocked by the Q. By the outside the Q logo. Oh, this is going to be kind of a little tricky to do. Yeah, not the best tree. It gives something to the background. I'll just scrape out the edges of it a little bit just so that it's a little bit more visible. This tree looks more like a very deformed hand. That's a pitiful looking tree. Maybe add another little cloud over here behind the bat. Try to make it like a wispy looking cloud. If you had a lot of time, you could go on forever and just add little things to these pumpkins. Now, just to rush this a little bit, I'm just going to just do a scraping over the surface, just to make it look like the sky is separate from the ground. So I can finish this up. I'm going to take my big knife, the one that I used to gut out the pumpkin with, and just do a light scraping over it. Maybe that's not going to work. Go back to a small knife. Where's the ground going to come at? That, okay, right there. Yeah, the bat's kind of deteriorated because I scraped too much off of that, but It looks better on the right side than it does the left. So I'm just going to call it a day on this.